honored as Missouri's best newscast. This is KMBC 9 News at 10 with Peggy Breit, Dave Stewart, and Drew Dimmel.
Good evening. In a week that saw Missouri swamped by the presidential campaign, tonight it was Senator Lloyd Bentsen's turn. The vice presidential candidate made a short late afternoon stop in Kansas City. Michael Mahoney reports the campaign brought out the heavy hitters trying to launch a come-from-behind victory.
The Democrat got a thundering welcome from 3,000 farmers and union members this afternoon at the Farm Labor Rally. The Farm Belt theme very much in evidence in his speech, which was also broadcast to 14 other farm states.
Rural Americans looking for a change. They know the Republican record on farm issues, and they don't like it.
Texan primed himself for the topic by visiting farms in his home state earlier in the day, and after mixing with the small crowd that greeted him at KCI this afternoon, Bentsen, who often boasts of his own farm background, hit the fields again, visiting a Platte County farm. But even in this scenic setting, he conceded the ticket is trailing because of Republican attacks.
This crowd's coming after us. They've taken out a lot of commercials and really distorted the truth.
So by rally time downtown, other speakers were urging the crowd to ignore the polls and pull off an upset.
We will confound the pollsters, confuse the prognosticators, and put Dukakis Bentsen in the White House.
Our Republican friends are pretty cocky. They think they've got this election in the bag. Of course, you know, that's what they thought in 1948 when Harry Truman took office.
The Democrats believe that Dan Quayle is a drag on the Republicans in this state, while their running mate for number 2 is an asset. That's why Lloyd Bentsen will be back in this state quite frequently before the election. Michael Mahoney, KMBC 9 News.
Senator Bentsen left Kansas City early tonight, but he'll be back in the state on Monday. Bentsen's running mate spent the day looking for support in an area where he is in trouble, the South. Michael Dukakis was with Bentsen earlier in Beaumont, Texas, before Bentsen came to Kansas City, and Dukakis went to a rally in Georgia. Former President Jimmy Carter and Senator Sam Nunn joined Dukakis to lend a hand to the campaign, and Nunn denounced what he termed outright and total lies by the Bush campaign directed against Dukakis. George Bush, meanwhile, took a break from the campaign trail today. He'll be in Washington again tomorrow with no scheduled events. But earlier today, the vice president said he doesn't approve of brochures printed by the Illinois Republican Party that say criminals in Massachusetts should vote for Dukakis. Kansas City homicide detectives are trying to identify the body of a woman pulled from the Missouri River late today. A tugboat captain saw something floating next to a log in the waters just east of the I-435 bridge. Police say the body is a white female, 25 to 30 years of age, brown hair, 5 feet 4 inches tall, and 130 to 150 pounds. If you know who she might be, please call the TIPS hotline at 474-TIPS. An autopsy tonight did not reveal how the woman died. In KCK, a 21-year-old man was shot to death inside this house at 12th and Wood. Keith Isaiah became the city's 29th homicide shortly after 4 o'clock this morning. Police still do not know who killed him or why he was murdered. Well, the gift of life is precious, especially for those given a second chance. Brenda Washington introduces us to a man who's been given a second chance at life, and he is not taking it for granted.
It marks a new birthday today for me, and my love to you.
Charles Lull, publicly thanking the family of the young man whose heart is keeping him alive.
I traded an old, worn-out heart for a new heart and a new chance at life.
It's a year ago today that Lull's diseased heart was replaced with Sean Kennedy Howell's healthy one. The 19-year-old Harrington, Kansas youth who wanted a career in forestry was killed in a car wreck last October. His family donated his heart.
I think he would have wanted it.
At first, Lull did not want to know who the donor was, but changed his mind, which makes Sean's mother happy.
I'm real happy that Chuck is doing so well, and he has a wonderful family, and he's just really nice people.
The Lull and Howe families are meeting for the first time today. The Howes told stories about Sean, who one day when he was young, accidentally locked his mother in the attic.
They went upstairs to get Sean a clean T-shirt, and he slammed the door, and it was locked. It was an older house, and the upstairs, went loud. And I came back down, and I could not get out. And I threw myself against the door, but it wouldn't open, so I went upstairs and tied 2 sheets together and climbed out the window.
Because of Sean's love for nature, Charles Lull has planted a redbud tree in front of his church in memory of the lad who gave him a second chance at life.
This is the way I can show my gratitude, that something that he loved and something that will go on in memory of Sean Kennedy Howe.
Brenda Washington, KMBC 9 News.
What a nice story. Charles Lull says doctors tell him he is in tip-top shape a year after his heart transplant operation. And Lull continues training for the 1989 International Transplant Olympics to be held in Singapore. We wish him the best. Just ahead, we'll tell you why almost 100,000 horses are dead. 100 horses, rather, are dead in Colombia. And the latest on efforts to save the whales trapped in the ice of Alaska. Don't go away.
This is KMBC-TV, Channel 9. And you're watching KMBC 9 News at 10 with Peggy Breit, Dave Stewart, sports, and weather with Drew Dimmel.
I haul cars for a living, so I know who gets the most cars and where to get the best deals. State Avenue in suburban Kansas City, Kansas. 15 makes of cars, trucks, and vans, low overhead prices. 8 great dealers up and down the State Avenue Strip between 6:35 and 4:35. It's like one-stop shopping and bingo, you got yourself a new car. Get more for your money on the State Avenue Strip between 6:35 and 4:35 in suburban Kansas City, Kansas.
Classic American Beauty. Lauren by Ralph Lauren. Available at Dillard's. What would it take to get you to change pharmacies?
It has to be more convenient. I have to get better service.
Change pharmacies? I'd need a darn good reason.
Try Walmart. We're convenient. You probably already shop here. Our prices are as low as anywhere in town. Walmart guarantees it. And our pharmacists go that extra step because they're Walmart associates. So what would it take to get you to change pharmacies?
You'd have to prove it to me.
Try us. Walmart Pharmacy.
Bass aficionados Jim and Mutter disagree on bass fishing. Jim swears by crankbait on the Missouri River. Mutter favors live bait on the Lake of the Ozarks. But they do agree. The way to get there is in a full-size Chevy pickup. Jim likes Chevy's big 350 V8 power. Mutter likes it because you can save up to $1,800. So when it comes to trucks, they both agree.
You'll do better on a Chevy.
You'll always do better on a Chevy from your Gold Star Chevy dealer.
If you have any Frito-Lay peanut butter bars in the house, don't eat them. Frito-Lay is voluntarily recalling more than 1,500 cases of the bars in 22 states, and that includes Kansas and Missouri. Testing shows the bars could be contaminated with salmonella bacteria. Now, salmonella can produce food poisoning and similar intestinal illnesses. Although Frito-Lay says the chances of anyone getting sick from the peanut butter bars are remote. Here are the date codes you should be checking for. The numbers are 19 December 88 and 24 December 88. That should be 26 December 88. If you find any packages with these date codes, you are asked to return them to Frito-Lay for a full refund. A gruesome fire in Columbia, Missouri trapped 92 horses inside 2 burning barns. Before rescuers could get to them, 42 horses in one barn were killed, but 50 horses in an adjoining barn were able to get out safely. Investigators are looking at electrical or heating problems as possible cause of the fire. The horses were inside the Midway Exposition Center barn for a big horse show this weekend.
Tried to open the side doors there to try to get in to get some of the horses out, because I knew we could probably at least try to save half of them. And it was just so hot, and it was jammed, we couldn't get in. Smoke was going everywhere. We tried our best, and we could get the door. We finally got the door open. but that time it was just too late to get in.
The value of the show horses that were killed could exceed $1 million. The struggle for survival in Barrow, Alaska continues as rescuers try to free 2 whales trapped in the Arctic ice. The 3rd whale disappeared just after midnight last night, and rescuers fear that she may have died. We have the latest from Laura Bliss at the rescue site.
The little whale, the one they call Bone, is gone. The last time anyone saw it was around 6 last night. Rescue workers knew Bone was getting weaker, coming up for air more slowly than the others. Crews have now cut more than 30 holes in the ice, and today some were still hoping that perhaps Bone had just gotten separated or confused. This apparent setback has only pushed crews to work harder and faster. Biologists say the remaining whales appear to be in good shape, and it looks like they've still got plenty of bulk.
They certainly have a very good fighting chance for their battle back to their migration route.
The whales are still moving closer to the open lead. Each time they move to a new hole, crews close up an old hole near the shore to keep the whales from swimming back. On the other end, the National Guard Sky Crane is continuing to punch out holes with his 7-ton plunger. And there's odds that there may be enough openings by tomorrow for the whales to swim out of the ice pack toward freedom. Laura Bliss for ABC News, Barrow, Alaska.
We wish them well, of course. Not too much luck for the Big 8 locals today, huh?
Well, you know, this really figured to be a big game for Oklahoma State because Missouri came in needing a win. Woody tried to save his job, and things did not go well for the Tigers, nor the Jayhawks, nor the Wildcats. We got lots of pictures when we come back. Stay with us.
Emergency! Emergency! The Van Chevrolet Toyota Autoplex is having an emergency clearance sale. The 89s are here, and we've got to get the 88s out of here. So, we'll guarantee the highest trade-in values in the city for any 88 Chevrolet or Toyota in stock. Highest trade-ins, lowest prices. Now at the Van Chevrolet Toyota Autoplex. Emergency clearance sale. 8300 West 63rd Street. Emergency! Emergency!
Find Chinese food at the Rack's Dinner Bar. They only come out at night. The Rack's Fright Night Light. Get it at a Rack's near you.
We're picking up an unidentified ship, sir. Yeah? I hear music. People laughing. It sounds like a tango.
Nah, merengue.
Norwegian Cruise Line.
Mambo.
Sailing the Caribbean. I like that. With cruises year-round from Miami and San Juan.
Wow. Let's get permission to come aboard, sir.
A $30 million auto liquidation sale Friday through Sunday. Auto Sale Liquidators comes to the KC Merchandise Mart, 115th and Metcalf. New 88s and 89s, 2,500 cars, trucks, and vans. Ford, Chevrolet, Dodge, Nissans. Sold regardless of cost. 7.8% financing, on-site credit approval, immediate delivery. $30 million of new 88s and 89s, 2,500 cars, trucks, and vans. Liquidated. Auto Sale Liquidators comes to the